Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Hanging in there, right? Weekend, always a good thing. I literally just got home a few minutes ago. I left at 6:30 a.m. To go pick my daughter up. I decided this weekend, since I had a nice little paycheck, I know the weather's going to be getting cold probably here in a few weeks. I hope not, but it's Ohio. We're about mid-October. By about the end of October, I have a feeling we're going to start seeing weather, at least overnight, weather down around freezing, which means the furnace will probably have to come on here shortly after that. And that'll mean higher gas bills for at least the next 3-4 months. So, figured I'd better use a little bit of money, extra money I had now, and take a road trip. Me and my daughter, you know, every once in a while, obviously we don't do it as much as we used to. She's much older now, but, you know, growing up, especially, you know, through her teens and you know, up until, you know, about 2 years ago. Well, of course, while she was away at college, we didn't get a chance to really do any road trips. But you understand what I'm saying. You know, things have, you know, there's more priorities now for both of us to where, you know, we don't always have that time to, on weekends, to take road trips. But one thing we like to do is just, I used to take the GPS. I had a Garmin GPS, and the damn thing, for some reason, I put it on the charger, it's on there for days, it don't charge. I don't know whether the battery's just going to crap inside of it, or there's something wrong with the charger, or, well, I don't think it's a charger because it wouldn't even charge when I plug it in the car. It don't charge. So, I think it might be time to maybe invest in a new actual GPS unit. Because right now, like today, I used my phone and used Google Maps on it, which is great, but you know, it's obviously my phone's in use, and so that it don't end up completely dead through the day, I actually have it set, you know, in the charging cradle, so I can't really use it, you know, for anything else, or, you know, if I want to, you know, if we stop somewhere, I want to take it off to you know, check, you know, messages or whatever, then, you know, it disrupts the charging, and yeah, it's just a pain in the ass. So, I think it's just time to maybe invest in a new GPS unit so I don't have to use my phone and Google Maps. But that's what we did. We did today, and you know, I always set Google to avoid highways 90% of the time, especially when we're going someplace. So we can take like back roads and kind of a scenic route, if you will, and see what there is to see. You know, it's amazing, just stuff you'll see, stuff you never knew existed. You know, places you never heard of, little towns that you never heard of. Now, granted, coming back tonight, we did. I did flip it over to include highways so it could make a little bit better time coming home. But anyway, we went to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is the home of the Mothman legend. A lot of you maybe have seen the Mothman Prophecies movie. That's what it has to do with, is Mothman. And we went down there to go to the Mothman Museum. It's not a huge museum, but it is very interesting. If you're into paranormal, supernatural, urban legends, cryptids, stuff like that, it's worth the drive. Especially if you're only a few hours away like we are. Make the drive to Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It's literally right over the Ohio River. And it was really cool. It was really cool. And of course they had, you know, they have a big gift shop. And of course I bought stuff. And then after that, my daughter, because we were kind of in the area, she wanted to go to Marshall University and look at Marshall University and see what we could see that we might recognize from the movie We Are Marshall. if you haven't seen that movie, even if you're not a big football fan, do yourself a favor and watch the movie We Are Marshall. It stars Matthew McConaughey, among other people, and it's based on a true story of Marshall University. I want to say it was a plane crash. Was it a plane crash? Either a plane crash or a bus crash. I don't remember which one it is. That unfortunately took the lives of a good portion of their football team and coaching staff and so forth. And Matthew McConaughey plays the character. He's brought in as like the new coach after this tragedy, and it's him kind of rebuilding and getting Marshall University back to where it was in regards to their football program. And it's a really good movie. Parts of it were filmed in it's Huntington. I believe it's the city that Marshall University is actually in, and the university literally takes up like a good portion of the town. I mean, the whole thing is campus. Some of the shots and scenes were filmed there. I think maybe some of the exterior shots of like the stadium might have been filmed there, but a majority of the actual like game footage in the movie, I believe, was actually filmed in Atlanta. But it was still really neat to go look at that campus and the university and see kind of the inspiration behind the true story of that movie, We Are Marshall. So check that movie out if you haven't seen it. But yeah, that was about an hour away from Point Pleasant. Again, taking back roads. Might have been closer to an hour and a half, somewhere in there. But yeah, after we seen that, then we decided to we were going to try to find maybe some restaurant that we hadn't been to before, or some restaurant that was unique to where it was, where it was, if you want to go to that restaurant, you had to go to that place. We saw a couple right around the university, but like one of them didn't appear to be opened. The other one, we just, because of where it was and stuff, we just kind of decided against it. And I was like, why don't we get, outside or get back into Ohio, and then we'll look for a restaurant that something that we haven't had before. So ultimately, we got maybe about like halfway back from like the Ohio border to home, like a third of the way. And I decided to, when we stopped at the gas station, I decided to then change my GPS or the Google Maps to include highways, because I thought we might have a better chance of finding a restaurant if we were on the interstate. And we saw a few roosters, not the actual chickens, the restaurants, roosters. I've heard of the place, never been there. And same with her. She had heard of it, but never been there. So ultimately, that's where we went. It was incredible. I got a chicken burrito with some sour cream, delicious. I actually got the rest. I'm going to go finish the rest of it here in a little bit. And then we both got a half salad. They call it the Red Rooster salad, and it comes with the mixed greens, red onions, tomato, cucumber. I'm gonna say there's one other thing in it, and then it only comes with like their special, like their house Red Rooster dressing. Of course, my daughter, she don't do tomatoes or cucumbers. Or no, I think she got the cucumbers. She didn't get the tomatoes or the onions, but then she had croutons added to it. So, and her half salads are like that big. It's like a big freaking bowl. I was expecting like a little like side salad type thing. Like that big. So I got the majority of that downstairs to eat too. But yeah, they're excellent food. If you've never been to Roosters, They do the pizza, subs. Their specialty is wings, and of course salads, and a full bar. So of course I got a margarita. That's one thing I always do. Any place I go to new that I've never been to before, if they serve alcohol in particular, if they have a full bar and they do serve margaritas, I always get a margarita. That's like tradition. So anyway, that was our trip today. Finally got home. I'm glad to be home. As much as I enjoyed the trip, and not so much for what we seen and things we did, but most importantly, have been able to spend that time with my daughter. It's nice to be home. So, let me show you what I got. So, at the actually, like right after we got done going through the Mothman Museum and got stuff from the gift shop there, right across the street, there's a place called the Point Pleasant Trading Company, which is a fairly big store with just all kinds of like all kinds of stuff in it. And I ended up buying one thing from there, and then we went to this other like incredibly like large shop that was, I forget what it was called, but it was kind of like a crafty, like antique-y big kind of shop. And I mean, we both love like antique shops. I went in there and like right away, like shortly after you walk in, there's a big thing of Funko Pops. I was like, oh, I see Funko Pops. I got over and yeah. I mean, they had some good ones, but you could tell they knew what these things were going for, because I mean, they were like $30, $40 for these pops. I'm like, I don't need them that bad. So, anyway, here we go. First thing I picked up was, of course, a shirt. You gotta get a shirt, right? You gotta get a shirt, even though I don't need any more shirts. But yeah. So, here we go. You got the Mothman, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, World Tour 1966, which was the first year that he was supposedly sighted. And then on the back, I didn't realize I had this on the back, actually. Mothman World Tour 1996, landing in a city near you. And I'm guessing that these are all, even though like it's mainly centered around Point Pleasant, I'm guessing that those are all the different sightings on record. More dates to be announced soon. Cameras and photos not permitted. So I thought that was a pretty cool, kind of like a take on like a concert shirt. So, and I like how it's the like the 3/4 sleeves. And it's black and white. So, t-shirt. Of course, I collect kind of like license plates, in particular from Celebrity Machines company, that they make all kinds of reproduction license plates of like from TV and movies and stuff. Well, I saw this one, and I just had to get it so I can put it up in my bar. Mount State, Mothman, West Virginia, 1966. And I mean, it is an actual, like license plate. So had to get that. Had to. It was just saying, hey, buy me. And then I got a DVD. The Mothman of Point Pleasant. This is like the whole like documentary. The only thing they had this big ass statue somewhere in the town, and when we pulled up and went into the place, we said we got to remember to go look for that. And then of course we didn't. We didn't think about it until we were like already out of the town, and she's like, "Hey, we didn't go find that statue." And I'm like, "Oh, frick! Oh well, I'm not turning around now." So maybe next time. But yeah. So I'm interested to watch that to get the full like scoop on what was going on there. And then I got a little postcard. Wanted Mothman, Point Pleasant, West Virginia. I was actually going to do this and actually try to find a post office, have me and my daughter sign it, whatever, and mail it to my mom's house, and then she could take it in and show my dad, because my dad's actually in a it's called Story Point in Troy, Ohio. Great place, but I mean, it's not necessarily like a nursing home so much as just assisted living. Unfortunate, but you know, he's happy there. He's doing pretty well. But I thought he might get a kick out of, you know, having something from me and Brooke's trip. But then I remembered the damn post office closed at noon on Saturday, and it was already past noon when we were leaving there. So what I think I'll do, I mean, I'm still going to, and I need to get stamps anyhow. So I think I'll just go ahead, and it won't be postmarked from, you know, West Virginia, but I'll still mail it. And the last thing that I got, couldn't pass this up either. Could not pass it up. I had to get some Mothman hot sauce. So maybe I will do. Maybe I'll try this out in another video, because I actually have this, and then I have my doomed sauce that I got, which is supposed to be incredibly hot. So maybe I'll do a video sometime where I kind of try both of those. You can all get a good laugh at me sweating and tearing up and cussing, and yeah, should be a lot of fun for you. Maybe not so much for me. And we'll have my phone on speed dial though, in case I need medical attention. Because like the Doom sauce is spiked with 6.66 million Scoville unit pepper extract. So it's hot. And then, like I said, the other place across the street that I went to, I saw this like little figure, and they have like a number of different like cryptid ones. You know, they have like Sasquatch and Chupacabra, and you know, all these different legendary creatures. But of course, I had to get the Mothman one. So wasn't too bad. $12.99. And then on the back it actually says, you know, the Point Pleasant winged man. So kind of talks about it. The first account was November 12th, 1966, in a cemetery in Clendenin, West Virginia, which I believe is like right outside Point Pleasant. Pretty cool. There we go. So that's everything I got on my trip through the gift shop of the Mothman Museum. Again, do yourself a favor, if you're within decent driving distance of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, you know, take some Saturday, leave early. I think the museum opens at like 10 o'clock. We got there right around 11. It costs $4.50 to get in to the museum, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I mean, it's just I mean, because they have like just a crap ton of like real news articles about it. They have they also cover, you know, like the Men in Black, which apparently there were actual like Men in Black that came and from the government and actually, you know, kind of looked into this in Point Pleasant. They also cover have a bunch of news articles and stuff about it's called the Silver Bridge, and this was like the first something suspension bridge, and like out of the blue one day it collapsed into the river, and there were like 70 some, I think it said like 79 vehicles were actually on the bridge at the time when it fell into the river. And you know, there were like 14 or 15 confirmed deaths. There were like 40 some people were injured. And it said, you know, what was weird was it was the It happened 13 days after the first sighting of the Mothman, and the 13th, I forget what they called it, but the 13th thing, suspension thing or whatever, was the one that gave way and caused it to, probably like a domino effect. One of them gave way and it just, you know, it all went. So, a lot of interesting stuff in there. So do yourself a favor, go check it out. Check out some of the other small shops there. I mean, we didn't go to all of them. There are a few different small shops right there on that same street. And it's a good time. I had a wonderful, wonderful day. Like I said, I am glad to be home, though. And as always, it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyhow, stay safe and stay healthy. Look out for yourself and those around you. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Of course, you might be watching this video. The weekend might already have passed. I hope you had a great weekend. But whatever it is, it is. Till next time, see ya.